When somebody asks you, what do you want? What do you prefer? Is it easy for you to say this? Or do you go through some mental gymnastics of thinking, it would make most sense if we did this in this order. This would make things flow smoothly. This would give everybody what they need, what they want. Or do you just plain realize that I actually don't know what I want? What does anybody else want? I'm happy to go along. Is this familiar? It could even be that at work you are super decisive. You run your team in the most efficient and effective way possible, but when you get home, you will make dinner according to everybody else's desires and wants and palates. Or, weekend activities, you go along with the family. And so then when you get asked, what do you want to do for your birthday? It's a little bit difficult to know. It's like you've forgotten who you are beyond and below all those roles of a business owner or a leader or an employee or a mother or a wife or a parent, What is it that you want? Of course, it makes sense if for the longest time you've been building a business and you've been having to put on your business hat or your leadership suit, or being a responsible parent that's been taking priority. It makes sense that, if you haven't had time for you and to express yourself and your desires and your needs, that you get a little bit rusty with that connection. It makes sense. And you can come back from that pretty quickly by just paying attention each day. Even just when you dress, like, who do I want to be today? Who do I want to express today? Take a few minutes to just attend to yourself in the simplest ways. Really think about, what is it that I want to have for breakfast? What will feed my body? It's very simple to start to create a new habit. But it is possible that something deeper is going on. It could be that your nervous system has learned this pattern of fawning or people-pleasing in order to feel safe. If you don't have capacity or space for more conflict, for example, you don't want to get into that confrontation, you don't want to get into that negotiation, there's just been too much fight, too much flight, too much demand on your nervous system, then the easiest, smoothest way to get through your days is to accommodate everybody else, to be liked, to be pleasing to be around, to be useful. All of these things ultimately keep you safe. That's what the nervous system is doing. That's what the body's primary agenda is, safety. So it could be a strategy. Fawning could be a strategy. How do you recognize if that's what's going on for you? Well, if it's really difficult for you to say no, you find yourself saying yes, even when you mean no. If you find yourself having difficulty knowing what it is that you would prefer, we can't always get what we want or go with what exactly we want. We live together with other humans, so it's give and take, yes. But if it's super difficult for you to know what your preference would be, then maybe you're quite deep in the people-pleasing field or mode or setting, right? If you are that diplomat, peacekeeper, always smoothing things over, always taking care of other people's experience, feeling responsible for how other people feel, adapting your own message, what you say, according to what you think other people will be able to handle, or how they'll respond, or how to make them feel. We can be direct without being hurtful. We can be clear without being mean. It's very possible to be honest without being brutally honest. We don't have to be brutal, right? But tiptoeing around everyone and downplaying your own needs, downplaying your own desires, that's not healthy for you. Losing your identity, losing yourself, losing that golden thread of what you are here to do in this life, That's not good for anybody. We are all here to be our unique selves, right? I really believe that you are here to bring your talents, your specific, unique expressions into this world for a reason. So for that to get diluted so that you fit into everybody else's life, I don't believe that to be good. And it's not good for your health, because a resentment can start to build very, very easily. If you're constantly bending over and accommodating others, doing what other people need you to do, it creates an underlying resentment. And this resentment can slowly turn into rage even, which is something that's burning you from the inside. And it can create such deep level exhaustion, because you are never living your life. Your spirit, your soul almost goes, well, what's the point of this? This is not the life that I came here to live. This is not the life that I signed up for. This is not what I want. Deep exhaustion is a direct symptom of fawning. I know. I've been there. So if you feel that your persistent tiredness is only about the fact that there's too many things going on in your life, you've got too many responsibilities, you're doing too much, take stock. Take a moment and just take stock. How much of what I do, how much of what I say yes to, how much of what I get involved in is actually stuff that I care about? And how much of it is just this habitual serving others and just saying yes. As much as the person who's stuck in fight wants to control and takes on everything themselves because they need it to be justice and they need it to be right, or the person who's in flight and is constantly just keeping busy to avoid feeling what's underneath it, somebody who is fawning is also expressing a nervous system pattern of relentless people pleasing. Yeah. Do you recognize that? Do you feel that that's what could be going on? So if the baseline is that you are not safe to say, this is what I want, if you're not safe to express your truth, if you don't feel safe to ask for what you need, then to create safety is the first step. If you've watched the previous episodes, you've learned about butterfly hug. You've learned about humming. Those are amazing techniques to just create safety. So even if you need to do that before you say yes to something, before you go ahead and just sort out everybody else's life, just pause. Take a moment to create safety in yourself and check in. What is it that you need? What are your needs? If you need something a little bit stronger than these two techniques, you can also use the 4-7-8 breath. Or the 4 sniffs and a long exhale. You've also got that in your toolkit. But 4-7-8 is probably a new one. I don't think I've mentioned this before. You only need 4 rounds of this as well. You inhale to 4, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. So in, hold, exhale, with your tongue behind your teeth and the palate of your mouth when you're exhaling. Simple. 4, 7, 8. Do that 4 times and see what happens. Incredible. Incredible. Knowing about it won't help you. Doing it, that's what you gotta do. So maybe just try it right now so that you remember this is here for me. If I need to just check in with myself, come back to center. Notice what it is that I'm doing here. Am I running on autopilot, taking care of everyone, or is this what I actually want? It's your aliveness, your eagerness, your curiosity. This is what's on the line. This is what's on the line. It's important. Tiring yourself out and slowly, almost like snuffing out your spark by just pleasing others. This is serious. It drains your creativity. It drains that uniqueness of you, right out of you, when you're just living, accommodating others, adapting to others. Please don't do it anymore. This is a difficult pattern to break. Change will take some time, but it all starts with a decision. So make that decision to start to honor your truth, yourself, and start moving towards what it is that you want. Small, tiny ways, small, tiny moments, they stack up and they create change. If you want like a fast track burst to build momentum to start, I'm here, I can help you. I've walked this road, I see you. This is not a character flaw, it's not weakness. It's just really, really clever survival pattern. Not your fault, but ultimately your responsibility to create change. You've got this. You're worthy.